you very much for joining us here on FAI TV. It's been a historic season already for Cabinteely. It must have been going so well for you.
Well, you know, it's our third year here since I came in. When I arrived, you know, they had established themselves as a League One club, but people wanted a little bit more, and I think we've achieved that. There's a huge amount of things that's happened in the first year. I mean, when we got here, you know, the gear wasn't done properly. No disrespect to the people who were here before us, but it just wasn't professional enough. We didn't have a location. Now we're established. We're in Stradbrook. Thankfully, Blackrock have been fantastic to us. They're looking after us as the best they can. The pitch doesn't be so good in early in the season, but now it's as good as you'll get. So we've made great progress, very slowly. Off the pitch, we need to sort of put everything together, and we've done that. We now have an under 19s, 17s, 15s and 13s really competing in the league, where before we didn't. Now we have players coming through. We've 7 players that's come through our system regularly playing on the first team, and yeah, it's all going very well. And but it's taken a bit of time, a little bit of money to be invested in it, and if we can get more, it'll certainly move on to another level. But it's gone very well.
When you came in pre-season, just before this season, what were the aims? What were the ambitions? Did you believe you could do what you've done so far?
Well, the first year it came in, you sort of say, what's your goals? What do you want to achieve? And I wanted to win the league. And we underachieved in the first year. So we moved on, we cleaned out, we brought in new players, got new faces, we changed our approach. Obviously we got the facilities better. And in the second year, we done really well. And again, we broke our records in the sense that I think we achieved 30 points, which hadn't happened before. So it's not down to me, it's down to all them. Then the players, our scouting system, Eddie Wallace helps us with all our scouting. He's the academy director, and he does all that for us. And you know, we have a system that we pick up players like Utah. Recently, we picked him up from Cherry Orchard, and we've a constant flow of players coming in and out. We're quite selective, and we always keep a large squad. It's disappointing some of the players don't get enough football, but you know, that's the makeup of the league, and there's nothing we can do about it. So if you get your chance, you've got to take it. So there's good competition, and it's steady at the moment.
There's been a lot of talk about the competitiveness of the First Division has gone up this year. What would be your thoughts on that? Would you go along with that?
Well, at the start of the season, I knew Shelbourne would be certainly a major threat, because Shelbourne have great traditions, a great club. They're you know, you use Shelbourne in the same light as Shamrock Rovers, Bohemians and all that. So they've got that tradition. I knew they'd be there. I knew Drogheda would be there because they're very similar. And Longford certainly are you know, investing heavily, so they want to be there. So I knew Bray would, because Bray have invested heavily, that they would be there or thereabouts. And so we were sort of, where are we going to be? What are we going to do? So quite genuine, I fancied ourselves, because I fancied some of the players. We'd done enough pre-season to say we've got a little chance. We got off to a great start. We got hammered in our first game actually against Bray 3-0, which was, you know, they were flattered by it, but at the same time they got the 3 goals and they got the 3 points. And then after that we went on a run. We beat Shelbourne, we beat Drogheda and Longford and so on. And it started picking up. And as I said, we had a little lull, but I just do think that Shelbourne are probably the red hot favourites. I think the league as it is now with the top 3 is the right way, and it is competitive. And here, the great thing about the league this year is that each team, no matter what team it is, can beat one another. Whether it's Bray versus Wexford, Wexford can beat Bray. Whether it's Shelbourne versus Cabinteely, Cabinteely can beat Shelbourne, and vice versa. It's just a very, very competitive league. And at this stage, I would even say to you that it's far from over. Even though Shells are 8 points ahead, I would just say to you that there's a lot of games to be played, and it's going to be quite competitive.
You've listed a lot of, obviously, First Division clubs. We're in Dublin here. There's a lot of clubs in Dublin. The recruitment in particular has been very impressive from Cabinteely over recent seasons. Just how have you gone about that with the competitive nature and all the other things other clubs have to offer to players?
Well, I think we can offer something more than most. And as you know, in football, whether it's a young kid wanting to go to England or whether he wants to play League One, it's the opportunity to play. And if you grab that opportunity to play, you can make unbelievable progress. Like Rob Manley's a perfect example. I had Rob with me in UCD, and Rob decided that he wanted to go to Bows. And he went to Bows, but he didn't get games, so he didn't progress. So then he went to Drogheda, and he didn't make any progress there because he didn't play regularly. Now he's come here, and the one question he asked was, will I play? And I said, you'll play as long as you deliver. He's 13, 14 goals, I think, in the first division. And he's playing regularly, and he's a different kettle of fish altogether. And he'll have a great career in the league going forward. And I think young players coming here will get that chance. We've got Filius Labuda's a 17-year-old in the team. He's injured at the moment. Alex Aspel, who's only 17 or 18. You have Owen Massey, he's only 17, just going on 18. So these are players. Zach O'Neill, he's another one who's permanently in the team. And all 18-year-olds coming through our squad. So we're saying we'll promote from within. We're also saying that if the right player becomes available and he wants an opportunity and he's willing to fight for his place and he's willing to work hard, he'll get that opportunity. And after that, he can, it's up to him. And we don't have the resources, the finance to retain players like the other clubs. There's one or two that we can do it with, but we can't do it with the full squad. So therefore, when they come here and prove themselves, they can move on to another club.
Yeah, you obviously mentioned there that so many players from your underage structure has progressed into the first team. Also, another player who used to be in the underage structure here, Jason Knight, just about to potentially go off to the under-19s and already in the under-21 squad. It shows there's real talent in this area.
Well, Jason, he was actually here the other night at the game. Jason's a wonderful individual. He's just football crazy. The whole Knight family are. We've just signed Kevin back from Longford, his brother. But they're totally involved in Cabinteely. And Jason came right through all right, and he was a fantastic. But the great thing from a Cabinteely point of view is that Jason was very loyal, and he was very good to the club, because we're very, we're in deep competition with St. Joseph's, who are our local rivals. So Jason stayed, and now he's getting the rewards. And for him to be included in the playoff squad and on the bench was fantastic. And then he went to Toulon and he played there. And look, a fantastic guy. I think he has a really bright career ahead of him, and he just needs that little thing that everybody needs in life, a little bit of luck, and off he goes. But a great credit to Cabinteely for producing players like that. And there's a lot more. We've started our own academy here now, under 12s, not just one team, 70 kids, and that takes place on training nights before the first team. We use some of the first team players to train with them, to get them familiar with them, and it's worked out really well. And they will now be selected for our under-13s elite next year out of that academy. So it's been quite successful. So there's a lot happening, and a lot more to happen. And it's very difficult because it's a small club. We're all trying. The board is very good. Financially, it's difficult. They need finance, and I think we've engrossed the schoolboy side a little bit more as well. I think they're now realising that that this is one big club. We've 65 teams. I couldn't tell you all the managers, and shame on me, I should, but it's that big of a club, and they all go about their business and they do it in the best way that they can. And there's no interference from anybody. There's no politics. Everybody just gets on with it.
Yeah, we're back onto the first team, back onto this season. Obviously now we're in the second half of the year, and like you say, we're in with a great shout with the playoffs and the promotion race and all that sort of stuff. There's got a huge game against Bray this weekend. Obviously a fixture which will mean a hell of a lot to you, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. Listen,
Bray Wanderers will be a part of my life. I spent nearly 30 years there. I achieved a hell of a lot with them. It's a very similar situation to Cabinteely. We didn't have any. Bray were always the unfashionable club in the League of Ireland, but didn't we compete, and didn't we put her up to the big boys, and didn't we get a few scalps in our times, and we won a couple of trophies, we got promotions and so on. And we had a wonderful group of people out there, make no mistake about it. Yes, we all fell out in the end in 2013, which is a shame, and people wanted to go a certain way, and I would have wanted to go another way. But look, Bray are still back, and they're flying. So when we play them, yeah, there's a part of me that I say, I want to see Bray being successful. But when you're in the opposition and you're managing a club like Cabinteely, obviously on the night, there's only one result you want, and that's for Cabinteely to win. But after that, I would honestly say to you that, you know, I would like to see Bray going on to be the club that I always thought they were capable of. And I'd like to see a stadium out there, and not just for Bray Wanderers, but for the whole Wicklow community and South Dublin and North Wicklow. And that's what I would like to see. On the other hand, we need to develop that here. We need to move forward here. And the only way you're going to move forward is by results. So the game on Friday is a massive game, and we need to. And you can't even catch your breath after that game, because then we Shelbourne away. So it's it's not easy, but it's fantastic, and we've got a few new players in, and once they give their all, I'm happy. If we make it, and if we make the playoffs, fantastic for the club. It'll be a real achievement. But we've a lot of work to do, and Bray are coming here with the same intentions. So it's going to be a hell of a game, and it should be a fantastic crowd, and it'll be a very competitive game.
And we're obviously in the transfer window, and there's deals happening. Are you looking to get any more deals done? Yeah,
we've got 4 coming in, and I might as well tell you who they are. Christian Latafe is back. He was with us. He was with Athlone, and he went there, and he's come back. Kevin Knight has come in from Longford. Carl Manahan has come back from Scotland. He was away in Scotland, so he's back in. And we might add another 1 or 2 to it. And as you know, we have Utah Sasaki. He's been added now recently, and he made his debut on Friday and scored a spectacular goal against Wexford. So just great competition for places. And then Luke Clucas, who has been one of these great guys. He's been here for forever. He played on the 19s, and he's now started to knock in a few goals. So we've got great competition. I'm looking forward to it, but difficult to pick a team now. Yeah. Difficult.
And obviously, in the second half of this season, the FAI Cup comes. You were very unlucky to be knocked out last year by Limerick, of course. How big of an ambition is that for a First Division club? Will progression in that cup competition matter to the community here?
I've won 2 cups, and with Bray. Bray, as I said, are a similar situation as Cabinteely. I think we're ready for a cup run. I think we're ready now. We've got the ingredients. We have a mixture of youth and experience, and we've got people who can score goals. We've got some very good defenders, a great goalkeeper in Steve McGuinness. The back 4 is good. Back 3, whatever we play, they're all quite, and we've got competition with places. Like Kieran Butler now, who's been really a fantastic. He was injured for a while. He's back. We've got lots of... So a cup run, yeah. The cup run is down to luck. If you get a nice draw home, tough draw in the next one, you happen to get over that one, and then all of a sudden you're looking at maybe a day out in the Aviva. And I can assure you, I've had a couple of days out, and the Aviva, it's a fantastic occasion, and it puts the club on the map. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, but the ultimate goal for us would be really genuinely to challenge for the league. And we're still, we're coming. We're looking for scalps, and we're determined to give it a right go right till the end of the season. We're on the last furlong now. We strengthened where we needed to strengthen. We've got all the fellas back that we needed to get back, and I've no doubt that they will give us everything we've got. And if we're fortunate enough to get that little break in and get in there, we'll challenge Shelbourne. But if we got a good cup run, it'd be absolutely icing on the cake for everybody.
And finally, the final question. Obviously, this Friday we've got the Family Fun Zone coming here to for the game against Bray. It's important that we continue to engage the community across the League of Ireland. It'd be great to see a few young supporters coming down and enjoying that occasion.
Well, look, anything that we do to encourage young kids to the game, it's what it's about. I think the league gets unnecessarily criticised by times, but it's a huge amount of work goes on. Every weekend, everywhere around the country, we're trying to promote League of Ireland football. We're going against hurling, we're going against Gaelic, we're going against rugby, and it's a family we have. And if you work together as a family, you can achieve a hell of a lot. And our biggest aim really this Friday is to get families in here. Come down, but don't just come down and see the Bray game. Come down every week, and that's what we're going to do. We've tried last weekend with Wexford, the same thing. We put on a little deal for people to come in, and it wasn't that successful, but it's a start, and that's what you have to do. You have to keep at it, but it's not easy, because this industry that we're involved in is not unlike anywhere else in the world. It's not full time. It's not a brand. We're trying to build a new brand, and I think unless everybody pulls together and everybody has a little thing called common sense, well then we go nowhere. What we really need to do now is stop, take our breath, have a look at where we're going, and make sure that we're all going in the same direction at the same time, and that nobody has self-interest. If we do that, we have a chance to make this an absolutely fantastic League of Ireland, and that will make progress beyond belief. We talk about government involvement, we talk about different franchises coming on board. Well, why can't we all get together? And why can't the franchise and the government work together? We really need an injection of major funds. And why can't the government turn around to the top teams and say, oh, okay, I'll give you what you need, on the provision that when you sign a player over to an English club, that we get the percentage of that back. So it's an investment for, not just for the clubs, an investment for the league, it's an investment for the government. And I don't see why that can't work. And I can't see why we can't paddle our own canoe going forward. The league first must have a look at themselves and look at the mistakes that they've made over the years and correct them, and then just say, now we can move forward. Let's put all the politics aside, make sure that this is the best league that we can possibly run, and make sure that the government's on board, make sure the FAI is on board, make sure these franchises and all these other people who are out there saying that they're going to contribute to the league, get them involved. And I definitely think a little bit of common sense, we may have a very good league in a couple of years' time.
Well, Pat, really appreciate your time and all your thoughts on the league and Cabinteely, of course, and good luck for the rest of the season.
All I'd say, you've been in heaven. This is Stradbrook. Well done.